ChodeHouse.
But anyways, now that I've ranted a bunch, I mean, talk about Metaverse, right?
So let me. I know very little about this. I'm coming in kind of blind.
Well,
Oh,
I was too.
can we play the advertisement for him, Ethan?
I was.
I don't want to watch the whole thing, please. I
No,
can't
it's
listen
not.
to
It's not
Zuckerberg that long.
No, it's not 10 minutes. The advertisement's like a minute or 2 minutes long. You know what I'm talking about, right? When he's talking to the Latina.
Negative.
No, I don't know that one. Let me
No.
see, let me find it.
Oh, hold on. Oh.
If you find it, send me the link, and I'll play it.
Anything with
Yeah.
Facebook, I kind of just like. No.
Leon Lush.
What's up with my boy's fucking hair? Like, come on,
It's
man.
the hair that's painted on.
Yeah, it's come on. That's where his the cerebral the computer is back there, and then the hair piece lifts up, and then there it all is. What's
Like
we know,
we already know you're a fucking tool bag. We already know you're a tool bag. Like, why are you just like balls deep in that?
Embracing it completely.
Yeah, he's embracing it. Why though? Like, fuck, man, do something else. Like, grow out some fucking bangs. Like, you have it. You're like it's like you have bangs, but you have a receding hairline, which is, until this point in time was thought impossible. Many have tried, and apparently you're really the only one that's been able to pull it off. Well, I mean, you don't pull it off.
I can't find it. I wonder if they pulled it. It's
I
him
didn't
and a
see
woman sitting across from each other. It looks like a morning show, and
boy.
they're talking about Metaverse, and it's like I saw it first on Lush, like Leon Lush just butchered him for it because it was extremely fucking cringy.
Oh, this 10.5 minute one is really
I don't
fucking
understand
cringy.
why they keep putting his ass in front of a camera.
Because he has
And
so much
making
money
him
and power,
talk.
they can't tell him. No, I don't think there's anything making. I think he wants to.
You think?
And
I mean, at this point, it's board of directors stuff. You don't think they would be like they did Elon Musk? Remember, they told Elon, "Look, man, you're shutting the fuck up right now."
Dude, Zuckerberg makes Elon look like a peasant.
What? Elon's the richest man on this planet.
I don't think so, bud.
Yeah, they confirmed last week and a half ago or 2 weeks. Now, I mean, this is this doesn't count royalty.
So if you don't if you don't count his company, he's only worth 64 billion.
Okay.
And let's see, Zuckerberg net worth 115 billion. Says he's 8th. So he's richer than Musk, and he's 8th. So Musk is not number 1. I don't know what kind of weird number foolery you're doing.
Well, you have to count assets, right?
I guess. Okay, well, let's count Facebook then too. Hold on.
Well, he doesn't own Facebook.
How would you even
Or does he?
determine?
I don't know.
Facebook's net worth is $1.6 trillion. So
Jesus.
I think Zuck may win, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, what did I see then?
No, I agree with D here. From what I've heard, that Elon is the richest man.
It's hard to tell, man. I'm not invested enough to. I'm play arguing. There's so many. It's hard to get accurate numbers. Because no one, unless you have access to their books, you're not going to know. And B, there's so many dick suckers on both sides. People that hate Elon or love him for no reason.
All right, so this is a CNN Business article from 21 October this year. So a little more than a couple of weeks. And
fake news, CNN.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. But Elon's personal wealth is now $222 billion, widening his gap as the richest person in the world, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index.
Yeah, but
the index.
So what is
it? An index.
They're not gonna list
past Amazon.
Right. They're not gonna list some like insert random Stein, as the richest person on the planet, right?
I mean, they are way richer than any of these people.
Right.
But No, they leave them people out of this because when you're that rich, you can afford to make people not talk about you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. These numbers don't add up with anything else.
So
on either side of it, like they're not the big numbers I found, or the little numbers, or the middle numbers. So I guess this proves my point of what I just said 2 minutes ago. Who fucking knows? Like, how are you evaluating this?
Oh, so there's just no way you can be wrong here. Is that what I'm understanding then?
I don't care. I'll be wrong.
Fuck!
I do not care about how many people own $200 billion.
Play with.
I just wish you would
like
say,
a coffee shop
I wish
or
it would say
something?
what they're counting. Like,
Zuckerberg, them, are they like in a fucking coffee shop or something?
I can't find it. Maybe can you link? Is it him and a girl just talking across the table? Because if so, that's what I'm talking about. It's just him and a woman talking.
They memory hold.
Yeah, it looks like the Bloomberg. The way they evaluate it is they take a snapshot, and that includes stock number, so it includes their percentage ownage of their company for everyone, not just Musk. For Bezos, Bernard, Arnold, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, they take their cash, all their assets, plus how much they own of their company, the stock price on that day when they evaluate it. Which, okay, sure. I mean, if you factor all that, I guess I can see why, since he owns, 22% of Tesla and 48% of SpaceX. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm trying to find the Leon Lush video. I'm sure I can scrub to it.
Yeah, I guess I should just look at that, huh? Hold on. It wasn't in a video just about Zuck. Let me look, because I've got it all and watch his videos all the time. So maybe it's Cringe Olympics. Hold on. Yep. Found it. I went right fucking to it. Here, let me link it. So this is the timestamp of it.
Oh, nice.
But it's not the whole thing.
Okay.
He talks about it. You can scrub back and forth. And he starts talking about it before that. He starts talking about it. That video starts here. They do another timestamp.
Okay.
Because it cuts in and out. Leon gives commentary and blah, 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 blah.
This one good?
Yeah.
From their meta launch video, I think.
Through some of the exciting games.
Oh my god! In the pipeline.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Just even
so
the inflection
their
in
awful chemistry. Like that's what I want to highlight. This I don't know who this woman is. It doesn't fucking matter. But they are trying to sell a product. Keep that in mind. This is an ad to sell Metaverse. Okay. All right, go.
In Mark's voice sounds so forced. Like, Deb, do you want to take us through some of the quests of fucking? Huh?
Take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with incredible developers like Vertigo Games, the studio behind fan favorite Arizona Sunshine.
I love Arizona Sunshine.
Fan favorite.
Basically got me and my friends through the first few months of the pandemic.
That's awesome. If you
yeah,
enjoyed
sure.
that,
It got he and his friends through the
excited
pandemic.
that we're partnering with Vertigo on 5 more great games.
And not for nothing.
Oh my god, dude. That is.
So you see what I mean?
Why do you do this
It goes
to me?
on. It goes on and on. So Leon doesn't have the whole video in here, and that's why I'm trying to find the video so I can fucking link it. I think they have scrubbed it. I think they have fucking black holed it somehow. They have used the power of the Zuck. He is like Ultroned.
Dude,
he
they
has
can do
Ultroned into the
They can
internet.
absolutely
and
do
removed
it. You know they can do it.
So it's
I don't
bad,
blame him,
man.
dude. That's rough.
I don't blame him.
That was rough. They're supposed to be having this like comfortable, candid conversation, and or that I guess maybe that's how they were trying to set it up. But there is nothing comfortable about that at all.
Dude, he can't have a natural conversation. He can't do it.
No.
Not on camera, at least. And I don't know if he is just like debilitating, camera or stage anxiety or something. I don't know. Maybe he has to do, 11 milligrams of Xanax or something just to get that crap out. But he can't. There's no way I believe he's actually like that in all his dealings. like that cringe.
No, he's not.
Stunted.
I think in his honest dealings, he's a piece of shit. And I don't necessarily mean that as an insult, because
and you have to know he's quick as hell too.
Yeah, you could be a great businessman and be a piece of shit. They kind of go hand in hand a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think if he gives you his quote unquote honest opinion, he's fucking narcissistic. He's ruthless. He is probably incredibly savvy at what he does, and he doesn't come off as stilted. He comes off as, I will literally fucking skin you alive to save 3 cents on this advertisement. Like, just borderline evil. I'm sure that's what his natural thing is. And I don't mean he's evil. I just mean that I think that's his thing. And I think when he tries to not be that, that's when you get this bullshit.
So, oh man. What was he there? He's got a quote.
That's a good take. Yeah.
He's got a quote out there. Yeah, it was a good take. I can't remember. I can't even prove it, but it was just like, yeah, all these people gave me this information about them for free. They're fucking retards.
I don't doubt that he said that at some point. He like a deal where he didn't know he's being recorded.
Well, it's the first thing he was that before it was Facebook, that little thing he made at college, and he stole it from the Bilderberger brothers or whatever.
Smashbook or something like that.
Yeah, whatever that shit was.
That used to be that was like the original title of it. Then it became the Facebook.
But anyway, he is vicious. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, people want to down, and this is not, for the people that listen to this, I'm not defending Mark Zuckerberg. I'm trying to be objective. People want to universally pan people they hate. I do it too. It's natural. If you hate someone, you don't want to find anything positive in them. And by positive, I don't mean nice. I mean good. Like because good and nice are two very different things. So just because he's a piece of shit, which I have no doubt that he is, I'm sure he's a garbage human to almost everyone he interacts with. But you cannot deny what he built and the way he's run it, even though I'm sure he's had plenty of incredibly smart and also equally vicious men and women helping him. He has still been the guy. And he has built it into one, it's on the wane, and I think that's why they're diversifying. I think that's why they're rebranding. They're doing the Google thing when Google made their parent company Alphabet to let them branch out. They're doing that with Meta or Metaverse or what the fuck ever. And yeah, that's okay, cool. Even though Facebook is, boomer book now and lol, imagine using Facebook in 2021, he still has this fucking enormous reach that is rivaled by almost no one. I mean, the amount of data and analytics he has on people, I would say the only legitimate, like Amazon has obviously a ton of analytics, but it's more focused on consumerism. I think they're the leader there. But I think as far as raw data, you got to think Facebook and Google, for me, are the number 1 and number 2. As far as private sector, at least. I'm not counting governments or, lizard.
Well, see, I was just about to say, the government helped build Facebook. I don't know if we know that one, but yeah, there's metric fuck tons of government money went into building Facebook. Unofficially,
you building it, like scaling it out, or?
I mean, they threw intelligence agencies at it to help them. And stuff
well, yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying, though. So once it got popular and they saw its usefulness, they helped him scale it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That, and there's proprietary knowledge that, intelligence agencies had on how to build profiles on people, how to do this and that kind of technology. That.
Oh, so you're saying they helped him build out the analytics piece of it?
Yes.
Okay.
This thing
for
is
data capturing and how to
spying on.
Yeah, how to read the data, how to make sense of it.
In the name of defending us from terrorism, I'm sure.
Defending us from ourselves.
Yep.
Patriot Act, the gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
I mean, well, nowadays, I mean, they've got they have Instagram now, so.
Oh, they have Instagram. They have Snapchat too. I'm pretty sure Facebook owns Snapchat and has for a little bit. They bought Instagram years ago. I think they also have Snapchat. They have a bunch of pretty much any social startup of note. I mean, other than TikTok. TikTok's Chinese. They're not going to sell that, but yeah.
They got Boomer Book, and now they've got Instagram, and now they're going for the young audience, which is the Metaverse.
So is that what the play here is? They're going after.
I thought it was targeted towards our age. Yeah, I thought Metaverse was supposed to be like the. I mean, obviously they're gonna sell it to everybody, but I thought the target age was honestly like late 20s to late 30s. I thought it was because you have to have a lot of disposable income to fucking do anything.
Right. Well,
I'm asking because you know more than
yeah.
I know barely anything about it other than they're pushing a huge VR universe games.
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
fucking know.
So it's really across the board. That's what I got from the advertisement I watched, the 10.5 minute one, because it had let's see, it featured working from home and how you could basically simulate being in the office. Like who the fuck would want to do that? You could simulate hanging out with friends. Now, mind you, like when these things are going on, hanging out with friends and shit like that, you're going to have your Oculus on, or else you won't be able to simulate, fucking anything. You'll be just staring at your computer screen, which is basically what an Oculus is. It's just closer to your face. So, so a big part of me feels like the advertisement was a little more slanted towards people, not only who had, income, but also had time. You know, like if I've got like two fucking kids running around here, I'm not going to be able to say, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna strap on my Oculus and hang out with my buddies," and just be like sitting there on the couch, cracking jokes and shit while my
No, fuck
kids are
that.
like,
No,
you know,
that's marriage
tearing the
ender right
wallpaper
there.
off. Yeah, yeah, marriage
So you
ending.
think it? So maybe instead of late 20s, you think like early mid 20s because we're agreeing you
Yeah,
have to have disposable income, and I truly I don't see. I think teenagers, especially rich, or well off, not rich necessarily, but teenagers with upper middle class at least, parents that throw money at them. I could see that being a big seller, but
yeah,
I don't see it. Like I'll say like the 13 and under crowd. I don't see it really appealing or not appealing. I don't see it really being targeted at them because they're not going to be able to afford it unless they do have rich parents. And
right.
I mean, they're going to go to school, they're going to do XYZ. So it really does. It kind of seems
Yeah.
like the more I'm talking about it, I'm kind of wondering what their
You're
business
talking
plan
yourself
is.
into
Well,
it.
I mean, this
No,
this
no,
is
no. I'm
well,
talking
I mean,
myself
this
out
is
of
the
it
tee up.
because
Oh, okay.
This is the tee up. You know what I mean? Like this is just the setup. Like you know, take Tesla for instance. He knew that right off the bat. Not everybody was going to be able to afford these brand new EVs, right? But as
Right.
time goes on, they will get cheaper and available to everyone, and pretty soon, the entire planet is covered with EVs.
yeah, I mean, I guess I still
Yeah.
think I think it's different when you're selling an online service because money is only a piece of the factor. There is no time factor to buying an EV. If you drive a car and you have to commute somewhere and you can afford the EV, you're going to buy an EV. But you cannot buy time. Like you still for something like this, like you're saying, you have to be able to sit down and dedicate time to use it. So it's
Yeah,
not
time.
just making the
Time is
it's
the
not
biggest
just make
thing here
yeah,
to me.
exactly. No, 100. You're 100% right. It's there is the cost factor, sure, because you have to be able to afford the equipment or the games or what the fuck ever. Yeah, that's a good piece of it, but you still have to have. I don't know. I'm gonna set aside 4 hours tonight and do what the fuck ever I want in the metaverse with my friends, which plenty of people do that in games too. So there's a market out there. Like I'm not saying people won't be willing to throw
Sure,
the time into it. I'm
sure.
just what I meant by talking myself out of it is like I kind of thought in my at first when you were when we first started talking, I was like, oh, okay, I could see this appealing to like a decently wide age range. But as I'm saying shit out loud, I'm like, man, this age range is getting smaller because you need this time and you need money and time and money is a very small subset of young and then old when you're retired. And maybe this could be one of those surprise hits where old people really fucking get into it because
Oh God.
you can virtual golf, you can go to the bar with your friends, you can go see what's Aunt Janine doing, I don't know, strap on the thing.
Right.
So
Oh God.
Well, as long as they have, their grandchild come over and hook up their bank account to their fucking
right.
their meta wallet,
Oh God. All this is
because I
just
mean,
like giving me anxiety.
everything is going to be driven off of their coin, right? Their crypto. It's not going to be. You're going to have to change your dollars for that.
Yeah, what was their coin they had? It was called Z. It was a Z.
Meta, was it? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, please let it be Z coin for Zuckerberg.
No,
That'd be the ultimate
start with a Z,
narcissistic play.
If I remember right. Hold on.
So this is kind of seeming like they're trying to.
No, it was Lira. Never mind. It was Lira. I just remembered it.
Oh, Lira is an actual fiat currency. It's for I can't remember what country that's for.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Turkish. Yeah, Turkish lira.
Well, shit. I may be wrong that I'm wrong.
It wouldn't surprise me if
Libra.
If Facebook also
Libra.
Oh.
They changed it to Diem, D-I-E-M, as in Carpe.
Yeah. Diem is a permissioned blockchain-based payment system proposed by the American social media company Meta Platforms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it's going to run on, I imagine. So you'll be buying assets to populate your, virtual home or have a virtual hangout space where you'll hang out with your friends. Now, the advertisement I watched, they met up with some of their buddies, right? And, Zuckerberg met up with some of his buddies.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. One of them was a robot, and, one of them was, like, flying around the room. Another one was doing some other kind of crazy shit. And the funny thing was, they, he was like, "Where's so and so?" And somebody said, "Oh, let's call her." And so they called her and did like a video chat with them, and they were outside, like in the real world. And they were
just
like
walking around with their fucking headsets on.
Yeah, just walking around. No, with their headsets on.
How long do you think? I was gonna say, how long do you think until the first death from Metaverse when someone walks in front of a car?
I mean,
it just gets fucking obliterated.
Right.
Oh god.
I hate all of this.
But yeah, they were outside and they were like, "Oh, we're running late. We'll be there soon." Don't go fucking rush home to sit in a virtual room with fucking Mark Zuckerberg and his, like the thing that, like, they had somebody floating around the room, right? Like this shit only makes sense to me is if you have some kind of feedback to your body.
Oh, that's
other than that.
They're gonna be haptic suits because that is, you have to solve that problem to go to the next level for virtual anything.
Yeah.
Just seeing it with goggles, that's cool. And yes, you can make improvements there, but you have to have feedback. And the only way to get feedback that I know of, the two big ways, is option A, which is actually realistic, have a haptic suit of some, or haptic something, or option B, invent a jack like the Matrix and fucking jack into the base of your brain.
That's the way. Neuralink is coming.
See.
I mean,
Elon's
eventually,
already way ahead of him.
Because Elon was. I remember him talking about that. He was talking about that on Joe Rogan, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the problem with computers is they can only go as fast as we can tell them what to do.
Oh right.
As far as like the interface and all that.
Yeah, the interface.
There's
a bandwidth problem.
Right.
Between our phone and our brains.
Right. And if it can go as fast as we can think about it, then it gets interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sold on his neural. I know what you're talking about, and this, I haven't looked at it in a couple of years. I'm sure it's made great advancements, but it was very limited. It was not even a proof of concept. Like, it was like, we can simulate this one fucking thing, and the one thing they could simulate was, see here, you see how he makes the line on this screen twitch upwards? He did that with his brain. It's like, okay.
Hey, he did have a chimp. He did have a chimp playing Pong.
Oh
God, really?
Yeah,
I missed that. I must not have seen that one. Either I missed it or that's after I saw. Because I think my first introduction to it may have been the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's
still
coming for sure. But
it's coming. It's still super early.
I mean, it's the Hello World version of this technology,
yeah,
right?
it's definitely the Hello World version.
I think
We should kill it in its cradle.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I think the problem we have in thinking about this, and I'm including myself, foremost, is that we always, like how we're talking about it now, we always assume it's going to keep getting better and better, but we think about it linearly almost. Like we think about, oh well, it's only here today. This is the hello world of it. Give it a year and it'll be doing this. It's like, well, maybe fucking not. Not everything is linear. For all we know, we keep going with this. We literally hit a roadblock and it sits there for 50 fucking years.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then overnight, some idiot's born who's a savant, and he's like, oh, this problem you've been working on for 50 years, do this and this. And then exponentially, in a year, we make up for those 50 years in progress. And I think that's just a problem with how we think about technology, because our frame of reference is Moore's law, and our frame of reference is how silicon is advanced. And not everything with technology follows that tick-tock cycle. But because the core element up until now of technology that's our frame of reference. That's how we think about everything. And I'm guilty of that too. It's I have to kind of stop myself
You only have
sometimes.
your past. You only have your experience to build a model in your mind with. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
That's what you do. But my quantum computing though.
Yeah, that actually I'd forgotten. That is a great fucking point, because if you remember 5 or 6 years ago, everybody's like, okay, so we're only here, but in 2 to 3 years, quantum computing, where are we with it? Fucking not very much farther than we were 5 years ago. Turns out it's a really fucking difficult problem to solve. Who would have thought? When you have something, when you have a state of matter, or you have something that doesn't quite obey the laws of physics, and that fundamentally cannot be observed while maintaining its state, it creates a bunch of really interesting problems.
That is so fucked up, man. That is so fucked up. I have tried to wrap my head around that so many times. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, it's so strange. It's crazy.
I think I'm with you, man. I barely understand it, like even less than barely, and I don't necessarily think that's entirely our fault, because I do think it's still such a new. I mean, the idea is not new, but really getting into it in terms of computing is still so new that there are so few people that understand it well enough to explain it or do anything with it at all. You got a lot of really smart. I guess what I'm trying to say, I'll rephrase. You got a bunch of really smart people that are really smart in other fields, and they want to help quantum computing advance. So they jump on the hype train. But even though they're super fucking smart, way smarter than I'll ever be, they're not. They still doesn't magically make them, experts in quantum computing. But they know how to talk smart, and they know how to say things, and they understand a little bit. So they get the torch and run with it. Does that make sense? So we're over there like, oh, there's all these experts in quantum computing, and they're working on it. No, They're not fucking experts in quantum computing. They're just experts by default, because no one else knows what the fuck it means.
I've come to develop a real disdain for the word expert over the past few years. Somebody tells me, oh, the experts, shut up. Just stop. I'm done with quote unquote experts.
Well, it's like, I think the reason is, I mean, I know you've seen this, because we know what each other's seen in our professional lives, but the expert has become too much of a subjective term, and I guess you could argue it always has been. Like, it's hard to objectively quantify an expert, because to do that, you have to isolate it and get really specific. Like, if you're the expert in XYZ, then you have, what does it mean to be an expert in XYZ? You have to have like a rubric. It's like, well, to be an expert in XYZ, you have to know all these 30 different things, and you have to be able to construct this and this and do this, and then you're an expert. And for some fields, that's doable. Some fields, it's very easy to lay out and say, if you know these things, you're an expert. Like a master electrician or whatever. Like, okay, you can, there's a rubric you can lay out. You can say, if you can do these things, you meet this. But for quantum computing, kind of a fucking different story. Like, how do you measure that?
How do you measure it? That's what I want to know.
You don't.
How the fuck does something change when you observe it?
Oh Lord.
That's what I want to know.
I don't know. And if you
Is
Google it, you'll get a bunch of half answers.
No. That's all it's doing.
Not-
It's
not
like
smart enough.
just dodging us. Nope,
No, it's constantly just
No,
flipping
no.
you off. It's in there. It's just like, no,
No,
fuck you.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy.
Corks are down there. Just no.
Yeah.
Man, we fucking derailed this. Back to Metaverse. Let's get back to the hype train that is Metaverse.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna,
God.
we fucking,
Yeah,
I fucking led us down an awful quantum rabbit trail.
Jesus. Quantum computing. Yeah, I actually just wanted to talk about this fucking ham sandwich I ate last night and it gave me the shits. Here we are. Fucking
Oh my God.
20 minutes later on quantum computing. I would hate to go on like a first date with you. I would say, you'd say, so what are you into? I'm like, oh, playing games. And you're like, oh, games? Oh, 20 minutes later, and that's how I learned about quantum computing. I'd just be like sitting there covered with nachos.
Oh my God.
So, do we think...
Metaverse. Yes.
Here's my question. And it's an opinion question because I don't think the answer is known to anyone, period. Is this them pivoting away from Facebook, period? Like, do you think they see the writing on the wall? Because Facebook is declining.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as popular. Now, is it still making money hand over fist? Absolutely. Yeah. But it's not nearly as popular as it was 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago.
Yeah, they don't have the growth that they have.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely that. And, growth is king. That's what investors want. That's what your board of directors want.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you think they're like, you know what, fuck it, rather than... I don't know. Maybe they're trying to.
Man. I mean, this is the shift. This is the shift, and I mean, like I think you said a minute ago. There's no doubt. This is where we're heading. And one thing I wanted to bring up, the difference in between, like, I hate to compare these two people, but I'm going to, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, for instance. Since we've been bringing them up quite a bit, it seems to me. So Elon is either he's really clever at hiding his true intentions, or he just has generally good intentions. Because, on one side you have, Zuckerberg here setting up the metaverse, which is, only going to be feeding off of, he's the eater of souls. That's what he's doing. He's going to suck your life away. Mm. And then Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars. Which one sounds better?
So I think here's my. I'm gonna be a little bit pessimistic, shocker, but I think Elon Musk, even though he's an introverted gene, whatever label you want to put on him, he is far more charming than Zuckerberg. Yes, that's a very low bar, but he knows how to appeal to people, especially the nerdy crowd. He captures their attention. Like, Zuckerberg doesn't do that. Now, maybe he doesn't care to, but the fact is he doesn't. So I don't think Elon is necessarily evil. I think it's very obvious what Facebook, Meta, Zuckerberg's intentions are. It's a cash grab. It's feeding a beast. It's any fun is secondary and almost an accident. But I don't personally subscribe, and you didn't say this. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I've just heard it a lot. I don't think Elon is this altruistic thing, period. I think Elon is an extreme narcissist, like a lot of successful leaders are. I think the only thing he cares about is being able to say, I fucking got us to Mars. He doesn't give a shit what we do there. He doesn't want anything. No, I'm being serious. Like, he doesn't care.
He just wants a statue built in his name. It's the
guy
that
real.
Got us to Mars.
Yeah, I truly think that's it. Now, I don't think that's evil. I don't even think that's evil. I'm not condemning him for it. I'm just saying I think that's his intention. I think he's so narcissistic and so driven and whatever else that he's like, I got us there. Fuck all you. Oh, good job, Elon. We cured cancer on Mars. And he's like, we did what? Oh, yeah, cool.
I guess. Sounds great.
So
That's good. That's cool. I'm still trying to find this quantum. It keeps
Right.
dodging my eyesight.
I don't
No,
know.
that's valid. That's a valid argument to make, and
Well, in that comparison, though, I'll take the latter. I'll take Elon over
Sure.
the
I don't
interdimensional
like I
shape-shifting vampire that
right.
Zuckerberg is.
I don't think you have to be altruistic. I'm not like I said, I'm not condemning Elon for that. It's just I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm not saying he's trying to be evil. I'm not saying he is being evil. I'm just saying he's not being good. He's doing something he wants to do. Does it have benefits for us? Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Even if we don't find anything of use, just the sheer technological advancements that will come from us getting there, that should benefit humanity the world over.
Right.
But
That was the whole thing with NASA.
I mean,
Right.
I think that you made an argument there against yourself, and
Okay.
when I say that, I mean, so if he is a super smart guy, which he is, he's probably thought about that, and perhaps that's how he has reconciled it, to himself. That yes, I want to go to Mars, I want to be the one that's taking us there. But look at all this stuff that it's helping people do. I'm not quite sure I understand what the net positive is for the metaverse for the human race, other than be, locked inside of our homes and only communicating and interacting virtually.
Well, no. Okay. So let's. I don't think they're comparable. If you asked me, I think if you asked a lot of sane people, point blank, do you think it's better and more helpful to humanity to allow us to have interstellar travel safely, human manned, right, or a new virtual reality game? I feel like the answer for a lot of people is going to be interstellar travel. I don't disagree with that at all. However, I think it's selling it short and pretty much just straight up memeing to say there won't be technological advancements that help humanity from Metaverse, because the problems they'll solve to have this vapid existence where you just churn out what DM coin, right? Libra coin or DM coin, and you pay for it.
Yeah,
Now
Libra
they're not trying to help us at all, but I can't be convinced that there aren't going to be breakthroughs that come with that in the world of computing that help. I mean, it's a cascading effect. Help the medical field, help us find better ways for fucking transportation. Like, it's nothing is ever developed in a vacuum, and it only ever helps that one thing.
True.
So I don't think Metaverse is just evil soul sucking. All we do is sit in a room. I think that's all they care for it to be. I think you're 100% right that it's a giant machine to feed their to feed their analytics and to feed their pockets and to do this and this. But I do think it will help humanity. It's just going to be by pure accident.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I guess the only thing I would say is that, and I don't know if this is still the case. This is just what I recall whenever he was starting up Tesla and all
SpaceX.
those other, starting all that. Everything they've invented and come up with, it's open source patent. They don't keep the patent on it just to themselves. They publish it all. Allegedly, they publish it all and let anyone who wants to use it. Go for it. If you can do it better, do it. So,
I remember it started out that way. You're 100% right. I want to say Tesla changed that.
Did they shut it down?
I want to say that's how it started. But you may still be
that's
right.
Still the case.
No. So it 100% started that way. 100%. And maybe it still is. Maybe it still is that way. I feel like I've heard something that, because I thought it caused a big uproar. Maybe it's not Tesla, though. It could be a company he doesn't even own.
No, it was. I think it was recently I saw him at a CEO forum, and he was talking about various things. One of them was Build Back Better. So, and I'm pretty sure in that same conversation he mentioned that his stuff was open source. But I could be wrong about that. So it's at least that recent. Yeah. Don't.
There's an article. There's an article from May 2020 that has, I don't know who Venner Shipley is. I'm not going to quote this as an authoritative source, but it has quotes in it. Tesla's open source philosophy comes with, quote, conditions. The main qualifier is that Tesla will not initiate patent lawsuits against a party acting in good faith, blah, blah, blah. So Tesla's patents are free to use if and only if you do not enforce any right against Tesla, you do not enforce any patent right against any other party, and you do not oppose Tesla's patents or copy their designs. So that's
what
not
does
open
oppose
source.
Their patents?
I'd say that's reasonable.
I would say oppose patents means you take their patent, you try to patent it yourself, probably something like that. Like you take their technology and you're like, I made the Andrew battery, and you try and patent it. And
you take their patent, you make a copy, and then
I don't know, that's fine. I'll cut it.
I do think copying Tesla's that's I would like to see the legalese there, because that's so open. Copy their designs. That's kind of loaded to me. That is not. I won't call that open source. I will say it's 99% better than what almost every other large company does. Yeah. So I mean, I can't really shit on it too much.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean, that's better than what Facebook has ever done.
Yeah.
Or Zuckerberg or any of the other ones. So at least we can point at it and say it's a net positive addition to human intelligence and human knowledge.
I would agree with that, 100%.
As opposed to whatever the fuck Facebook's done. I don't know. Destroyed society. I don't know. I blame Facebook for so much bad shit, man. I'm really biased on this.
Yeah.
It's like the worst bias.
I mean, like it or not, it has changed the world.
No.
I hate to say that, but it's true.
I mean, it's mostly hate each other, in my opinion.
I would have to find the article. I think it's pretty easy, at least talking at high levels like we are, right? Because none of us are data science. Well, I guess Ethan's kind of close to data scientist.
Excuse me.
But D and I are not data scientists at all. So
excuse me.
So I think it's hard.
I'm not a data scientist.
Well, all I was getting at was it's easy for us to talk about the higher level stuff, and that's mostly negative because it's easy to point to that. And there's some technology, I don't remember what it was that Facebook did, because Google's one of their earliest claim to fame was MapReduce, right? That's what Google did to make search work. And MapReduce was like a fucking force multiplier for computer science, period. That was revolutionary. It allowed so much shit to go to you. It allowed you to fucking just dissect and organize and look through data so goddamn quick. And I know Facebook has done something similar. I just don't remember what the fuck it's called. Now the question is, even though they did that, and even though Google did that, even though Google gave us MapReduce, how do you draw the line? Because Google's done a bunch of evil shit too. A lot of tech companies have. So how do you say, is it worth it? Like you have that this big bar with red and green, right? Green's MapReduce, and red is everything else they've ever done.
It's not quantifiable.
So I'm sure the Germans gave us,
easy.
They were quite good at engineering, from what I understand.
Yeah, they're real good at chemical engineering too. I hear.
That's what I've heard.
No, but seriously, there are. You're absolutely right. A lot of mechanical and automotive engineering advances. Jokes aside, a lot of chemical engineering advances.
Medicine.
Like that's medicine. Yeah. No, I mean, but see, like you
medicine in general. Yeah, medicine in general.
That's fucked up, but it's true.
Yeah, no, it is. True. That's the hard thing. That's the hard thing to rationalize if you're a good person. Is like you have something that's abhorrently evil, pure evil. And I'm not even talking Facebook aside. You have. Like, it's hard for people to reconcile. You have this dude named Steve. And Steve fucking tortures children, flays them alive for the fun of it. But in the course of doing so, Steve finds a way to, we'll just joke and say cure cancer. I'm exaggerating, right? So Steve has found a way to cure cancer, but he did it by mutilating 20,000 children. It is going to be very hard for most people with a conscience, even though curing cancer saves millions and will continue to save millions and millions. How can you separate that in your head? And it's like, well, those 20,000 children that died excruciating deaths, that's still evil. It's like, yeah, of course it's evil. But that's the weird thing about reality is good things can come from evil people and evil situations. Obviously, that's a very easy example because it's super exaggerated. That's never going to happen. It gets a lot harder to quantify when you're trying to talk about real life.
It'd been more believable if he would have found a way to eliminate free radicals.
Oh man!
Well, why do you need that? You got raspberries, man, or not cherries, right? Antioxidants. I think cherries are
antioxidants. There we go.
Eat your cherries, ladies and gentlemen. Eat your cherries.
Lord, help us. No, I mean it is FUBAR.
Yeah,
I mean that's about all you can say. Is that's FUBAR right there, and it makes people very uncomfortable when they find out where a lot of the technology we have came from, what the people that were originally. The people that originally make it were trying to do whenever they made it. It's like, wow, that's FUBAR. That's you get the big eye. You can see them whites all around your eye, and it's like, God Almighty. You can't reconcile it. You just have to go, well, what's done is done. I can't change it. Why would I throw away this knowledge?
Right.
Oh, yeah. So I found, as a sidebar real quick, I found the big advancement I was trying to remember that Facebook did.
Oh, yes.
Hair implants.
It's technology advancements. They made Cassandra the scalable database that everyone still uses because Cassandra is what's underneath Hadoop. And Hadoop is the biggest, the clustering system that Google still uses and Amazon uses it, and they base their own products on. Facebook made Cassandra. It is the largest contributor to Hadoop as well. They made TensorFlow. They made Torch, which Google then based TensorFlow on, which TensorFlow is like one of the largest AI engines out there, period. And Facebook made Torch, which was the predecessor to it. And then they also, the Open Compute project, and then React, the JavaScript library front end that's ubiquitous and it's everywhere. Facebook made that too. So again, I'm not
But
saying.
Did they make Log4j?
No.
Kill.
Because if they did,
there is no reconcile.
It's only evil.
You can probably blame some fucking intern at Apache for that. He was assigned a project. We need a logging framework, and he went, okay.
Somebody sent him an email and said, "Please do the needful," and he did. He did that needful.
Mm-hmm. And then the needful got done to all of us.
The whole reason that I brought up the metaverse to talk about this week was because I actually heard about it from the Joe Rogan show when he was interviewing what's that guy's name? Tim
Pool?
No.
I was about to say, please, not him.
No, Tim Pool was on there 3 weeks ago.
Oh, God.
Oh, he was?
Spare me.
But Tim...
There was. Oh, is Tim Pool fallen from grace? Do we need to have
a little bit
conversation? Uh-oh.
What grace you're talking
about. Come. Don't be
anyway, he was on the Joe Rogan show. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. Anyways, doesn't matter. And he said that...
Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon. That's it. Tim Dillon. And he was talking about this guy who paid $450,000 to be Snoop Dogg's metaverse neighbor. And I was
Excuse me, what?
What?
Yeah. You put that in the thread the other day. That's what spurned that whole. You guys we're wasting our lives working at what we're doing.
So I thought I didn't read the article. I guess I thought the 450K
you
was
missed the
joke.
whole fucking context.
I thought it was a meme.
Son of a bitch.
Coming in here with all your points and your arguments and your
whiffing my joke.
Is Metaverse even live? Is it live yet? Can you do it?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
So,
hold on, shut it down. New York Times headline article from today. You ready?
Uh-oh.
The Metaverse's dark side. Here come the harassments and assaults.
Oh, gee.
Swinging dicks from every corner.
Oh, here we go. the Metaverse. Was like no, it can't be a police force. It had to be some sort of like sort of like a militia or something. The Metaverse militia. Just go around and fuck people up in Metaverse.
It won't be a militia, man. It's going to be a Facebook like Gestapo. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be the
oh my God. Hold on.
SS of Facebook.
This is.
Are
Can
you
I
reading
read the
that
beginning
shit?
of this article?
Yes, please, please.
It's really good. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do a dramatic reading. San Francisco. Chanel Siggins recently strapped on an Oculus Quest virtual reality headset to play her favorite shooter game, Population 1. Once she turned on the game, she maneuvered her avatar into a virtual lobby in the immersive digital world and waited for the action to begin. But as she waited, another player's avatar approached hers. The stranger simulated groping and ejaculating onto her avatar. Shocked, she asked the player, whose avatar appeared to be male, to stop. He shrugged as if to say, quote, "I don't know what to tell you. It's the metaverse. I'll do what I want." Then he walked away. So keep in mind, pay very close attention to what they said. He shrugged as if to say, and then they attribute a 2-sentence quote to a fucking shrug.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Oh, Jesus
I mean, it's
Christ.
like fucking VR chat. That shit's degenerate as hell.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of complaints in that, but it's like
I like that.
you're in there with gamers. Do you not know who these people are?
I like that he just showed up and beat off on her. Just shrugged his shoulders, walked off. That's
It's
it.
like
Welcome to the metaverse, bitch.
I just don't understand. I mean, I get it. That is awful, and God help me if that was my wife or daughter, I'd be. If I could just find this guy, right? It would piss me off. But the other part of me is like, I've been playing games online since I was 16, and I'm way older than that now.
How many people have you teabagged?
Oh God,
Right.
I have dragged my nutsack across so many virtual faces.
How many of those do you think were women?
It doesn't matter.
But why does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
But honestly, why does it? There is no haptic feedback yet. We're not.
No.
If we were at the level where if you're touched, you feel it, I would 100% understand how that's sexual assault at that point, because it's perfectly emulating it. It doesn't matter that it's fake. This is a fucking game with no feedback at all. Period.
Well, what did you think was going to happen when people believe words are violence?
I mean,
right?
I guess
They
I
gotta
mean,
they gotta have
legitimately.
something, right? If you're in a world where there are no consequences, then really there can be no victims, right?
I mean, victimless crime. Nobody was hurt, except she felt assaulted, which I can.
I mean, she
Right,
can feel
agree.
that. I'm not saying she. I'm not saying someone can't feel PTSD or trauma or whatever, but
Right.
to imply that it's the same as if it happened to you on the street is
Right. It's not even close. Not even the same world. And that that turns the volume down on all the people who are going through real harassment, real assault. They have
Right.
injuries. They have,
sit there and tell me like that this like I would love for 2 women or 2 men or 2 who doesn't matter, 2 people sit across from each other, and one of them was violently raped and then beaten within a half inch of their life, and the other one gets on there and is like, I was playing Population 1 on my Oculus Quest, and an avatar simulated ejaculating onto me. I know what you're going through. Yeah, I would hope that other victim would beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm feeling? Okay. Like,
oh yeah.
Lord
I don't know.
mercy.
I don't have a lot of sympathy for that kind of stuff. Like, if people feel uncomfortable, that sucks. The part of me that is nice, I don't want people to feel sad and uncomfortable, but I think, you report the person and move on. Do what you do in games now. Like, there's report
It's
them.
a
like,
game.
Hey,
it's not real.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's not real. Hello? Game not real.
It'd be like in a
Stop it.
shooter. Like, to me, it equates the same thing as like you playing anything, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, PUBG, Fortnite, and you go to a judge and you're like, this guy attempted to murder me. He fired his weapon at me and narrowly missed. And the judge is like, do what now? In a game, he did this. Like, it's not the same thing.
Right.
We can wrap it up here. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on. Don't go to Spotify. They'll probably Find us on the Metaverse. I'll probably
we're gonna be buying some parcels. D is financing the parcel buy. It'll be coming through soon.
With my personal.
If you see anybody running by and they ejaculate on you, it's me. It's all good. It's cool.
It's just a game.
Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it, baby.
What can we tell you? It's just the Metaverse.
It's just Metaverse. It's all good.